Hey, fellow babies, welcome to a show that's so pathetically old and out of date. We're still waiting for the Beatles to release a new album. It's the after show.
Who are the Beatles? This new young and up and coming band.
Young whippersnappers with long hair, and
no, that will never catch on.
Yeah, talking about holding girls' hands in public and crazy stuff. Well,
I want to suck your cock.
That's probably been played in a few bars karaoke way, but So now that you're all properly offended, how you doing out there, fellow babies?
See if anybody in the chat can come up with a more offensive Beatles song.
Yeah. Well, let's face it. I want to hold your hand. That's obviously not really what they were saying, right? It was, I want to get you in the back seat of my car in a dark alley somewhere so we can boff like animals. Hand.
I don't think they ever knew what they were talking about. You know, it started off with help, I need somebody. Yeah, you well do, because the next song was like, I am the walrus, I am the walrus, I am the Eggman. What? What are you on about?
That was some screwed up stuff. Yeah,
we're all living in a yellow submarine.
That one makes sense. Right? They're in an underground bunker growing weed. That's what that was.
No, that's your fine interpretation of it. Maybe that's not what they had. Maybe they literally were just thinking about yellow submarine.
No. There's not enough LSD to make that happen. They were in an underground bunker where somebody was growing the sea of green, which is a style of growing hydroponic grass. Absolutely. Oh yes, I am 100% convinced of it. You know.
Now you're just trying to crowbar reason and thinking. when maybe there wasn't any at all.
Yeah. No, but I can see sitting around in a buried bunker where you're growing grass, and maybe the guys buried like a school bus as part of the thing or something, and they're all sitting around in this underground heavenly place full of grass, getting stoned. They got a couple of instruments and they start making up the Yellow Submarine song because they're literally in a hollowed out school bus as one of the places you could be in the underground thing or something. That's what I see, That's
what I'm saying. You're being far too clever about it. I mean, because don't forget, John Lennon wrote that song, which is basically just like reading off a Victorian poster, He could have been standing next to the wrong post and be singing about Barbra Streisand's got a new album coming out or something.
Yeah, Mecha Streisand, The Mechanical Years. Barbra Streisand. She's a celebrity that I've never really had much tolerance for. I can understand why the South Park guys picked on her so hard in the early years.
Because they're so anti-Jewish?
Well, no, when you got a Jewish guy...
Anti-Semitic?
Yeah, when you got a Jewish guy, like the dark-haired guy, right, of the two South Park guys, I think that's Matt Stone. I think Trey Parker is the blonde guy. I'm not really sure.
I don't know which is which. Neither of them sound very Jewish to me.
Yeah, but the one guy is. That's why they've always been able to get away with such harsh Jewish humor, right? Because
Stone. His probably original name was Stein or something from Germany. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's the same with Mel Brooks and a few, right? When you can get away with it, right?
Well, I don't know if you can get away with it, but you definitely got a bit of a free pass on it.
Well, yeah, no, you can get away with it. It's same with like a black guy in a hardcore rap band. He can just, rhyme off the N-word and whatnot, like it's the same thing, right?
Yeah. He can start singing about diggers.
Yeah.
He loves his JCB, that fine old digger.
Does does that mean that you can have some total white trash from a trailer park and they could do songs about colonization? I don't think that's going to go over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They start writing songs about slavery and,
we'll have to,
domination.
There'll be a new band in the morning. A few of our viewers will form it. It'll be the Colonizers. And it'll be
the Crusaders.
Songs from My Bloody Arm will be the first album.
That's and last.
Yeah. Yeah. So here we better
and now for something completely different.
Well, it's like you've not seen the video series, the Joy of Painting with Adolf Hitler. It was brilliant. It was great. It was a great painter.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It was really good. Yeah. And the Joy of Painting. Painting this happy little tree over here.
It sounds to me like you put a mustache and a bad accent on that guy with the fuzzy hair. What's his name?
Donald Trump.
No, with real hair. Not.
Oh, yeah. What's his name? Bob
Ross.
Bob Ross. That's it. Yeah.
Wasn't he like the guy who did a painting show on PBS and then after he died became popular? Isn't that the bane of being like an artist, a painter or whatever? You don't get any recognition or success until you're dead. It's like
no. He was massively successful and recognized while he was alive. It just became ironic in modern days to love him.
Yeah, because he kind of looks like a chia pet that came to life. You know, those things where you spread the bean sprouts on it, you know?
Yeah, he looks like a brush for like daubing into the corners of the room, you know?
Yeah. But I thought the only way I ever saw him until he became a meme or whatever was like on PBS type channel. I didn't realize he had like to me, he was like Mr. Dress Up or what's that? Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood kind of guy, right? You know?
Yeah. No, he was massively popular in his time. You know, it's like that when there's like daytime television things, you know, where your mum would just like listen to his voice and just like drift off and just spank the pony while listening to productive tones.
He's one of those guys where that hair, if you put a backlight on him, he gets that look of Deanna Troi from Star Trek: The Next Generation, because they love to backlight it through her slightly sprizzed hair. You know?
He does look like he was like one step away from being a porn star instead of an artist.
I wouldn't doubt he's related to Ron Jeremy.
He's probably painted him a few times naked. Painted happy little penis over here.
Oh man, I just brought his picture up, and when I clicked increase in size, it went small. That's just why does that happen? You know, come on.
It's your age, I think.
Yeah. Well, it's not like I haven't used a computer in a while.
We all suffer from that problem at our age, you know. You want it to go big, it just goes small.
Yeah. Oh man. And they even had a movie loosely based on him called Paint, 2023 film. And then the background's giving me all the information there.
I mean, how loosely based was it? I mean, it's like, well, actually, when we look at Bob Ross's history, there's actually nothing juicy that would really make a movie about. So we'll just loosely base it on him and just make up some shit.
They got Lightning McQueen, Owen Wilson to play him. That's just what? That's weird.
Yeah.
You know. Oh, yeah. Bob's ready. I've watched Lightning McQueen many times. My son loves those movies. You know, with the Cars movies, I never understood why in number 2, Lightning McQueen kind of takes a backseat and it becomes the Mater movie. I thought that was odd.
Money, probably.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that movie. It's just, it has Michael Caine and it has some really cool moments, but it's just not a Cars movie. And then they get to Cars 3, and that's the proper movie, you know, that we should have got. But oh well. But I'm a real racing enthusiast, so to take it away from racing and make it more of a spy movie kind of bugged me. I wasn't really impressed.
Yeah. Somebody tell Dick that it's not real.
Yeah. You know, it's the same with video games. Every time I play a racing game and it's like, oh, but you can drive over this and get a boost. I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm done. I just want a real car. You know, I don't want the gimmicky shit, you know? I'm such an old man.
Yes, you do. You would love to have a Lotus Esprit that turns into a submarine.
Oh, in real life, sure. But if I want to play a racing game, I don't want to have to play the water sub level. Like I just like the racing, right?
You drive through a thing that gives you a boost and, you know.
Yeah.
So like a Mario Kart kind of thing, really, isn't it?
Oh, there's a guy named Modern Vintage Gamer. He's a YouTuber. He's really good. He writes games as well as he's helped write old games again for new systems, done emulation, all kinds of stuff. And he did a great video just the other day explaining how bad Mario Kart cheats on you while you're playing it. And it was hilarious. The stuff he showed, how the Mario Kart racers can just zoom through traffic. Like they don't get hit by buses. They just drive through them if they needed to catch up to you and things. And it was so funny to watch, man. It was unbelievable. And that's the stuff that drives me nuts about those games. Like, I like it to be like real racing. If I'm 4 seconds a lap faster than you, then I want to be 35 to 40 seconds ahead of you in 10 laps, unless I screw up, right? I don't want all that rubber banding, coating, and all that garbage. And if I can't keep up, I want it to be real, so I get better. And, I guess I'm bitching because I like sim stuff and not arcade crap.
Yeah, 21st century problems.
Yeah. Car passing in the chat. Dawson growing old disgracefully. Yeah, probably. No. Yeah. There was a thing too. We've been talking about some of the companies and auto recalls and stuff. There's a massive one in Canada from Honda. They have, they have a huge amount of vehicles, hybrid vehicles, that the high pressure fuel pump will leak because it cracks. And, leaky fuel running vehicle, very bad, right? They also...
Bit flamey.
A little bit. And because it's Honda, the same as Toyota would do the same. This part is on a bunch of different vehicles because it's just a high pressure fuel pump. And it's probably some plastic piece of garbage that if it was just simply built out of metal, this never would have happened. But in the modern day and age, I don't know if you all are paying attention, car manufacturers do not engineer cars to last. They engineer cars to last as long as the warranty. And they're building systems for cooling out of plastic. And everybody knows if you get plastic hot and cold and hot and cold and hot and cold, it eventually gets brittle and breaks. So the whole cooling system for the car is designed to expire with the warranty. Now, if you're like me, I usually buy a used car. That means I'm screwed. Now,
the answer to this is what they should do is make car parts out of human nipples. because I've noticed. Don't ask me who it was or when it happened, but
when I talk to them.
just gonna say hot wax and ice being swapped, alternately to excite the nipple, and my nipples have not fallen off. So I think we should just make car parts out of nipples because they can take the stresses of high and low temperatures.
Okay, I agree there. And they can take friction as well. Twink in the chat says 3D print. Well, yeah. Twink in the chat says 3D print car parts, please. It's been done. There's been a few companies that have done it. The 3D printing technology, I would say, is about 10 years away from being able to literally just print a car part and put it on a car without it being overly heavy, harder to engineer for crash testing and stuff and whatnot. But as B is for Build on YouTube and a few other YouTubers have shown, 3D printing car parts to use as molds for then fiberglass forming the part you want is extraordinary cool stuff. Oh, wow. Does that work?
I mean, you can't 3D print car parts at home, on a bit of PLA, which, don't forget the whole reason 3D printers work is because
it melts it.
Hot melts it, yeah. So, probably not the best thing to do to put into a hot engine bay.
But we're getting to a point where it's getting so good. Like, we bought a 3D printer when my son was maybe 8 years old, like 9 years ago or something. It was the Robo 3D something. And it was like, $1,000 or whatever. And it was unbelievably cool. But it was a finicky so-and-so, and you had to actually understand what was going on with the thing. Otherwise, it was going to, throw you for a loop.
Yeah.
But I did the T-Rex skull and a bunch of other prints that were fantastic. I did the, it's somewhere here. I did the NASA ratchet that they actually sent the file to the ISS and they printed there to do a repair. And it worked, and you could flick the switch and go backwards and forwards. It was awesome. But compared to the crap I had to go through with that printer to get a good print versus a $400 printer you can buy now, holy man, has shit improved. Right now, it's just about better materials, right?
Yeah. I mean, they certainly increased the range of materials you print with, but you're still talking with hot ends that are 240 degrees centigrade.
Oh yeah.
That's about as as hot as it gets, and you can do some pretty high stress stuff with it. But but with 3D printing, it still comes with because you are layering it up into systems. You've got definite slight split points.
And if you had,
so you got to 3D print things in the right orientation, the right way, to make it strong enough.
But it's also based on engineering and directing of forces and stuff. And then you've got to do the, do you have a printer big enough to do a fender, or are you adhering the parts together and stuff? There's so we're a ways away from 3D printing a car properly, but I've seen some cool stuff. I think it was out of China, where they built a massive 3D printer with a crane, the kind of crane that just has an overhead beam that goes back and forth and the crane's on it, right? And they were using concrete, and they built the thing to be like a 3D printer that could print the basics of a house, like the concrete walls and stuff, It's freaking cool.
Yeah. There's a lot in the world of concrete 3D printing and construction. There's a lot going on there because obviously that's a technology they're looking at taking to Mars, so you can actually 3D print buildings using the Mars regolith. That would be great. There's a hopper, you just chuck in Mars regolith into the back of that, bit of water that's come from somewhere, the ice cap, and you print out a little habitat ready for someone to move in.
Well, when you say water, the funny thing is if you're actually paying attention, and I do, it's been more and more discovered over the last like bunch of years that it's not just the polar ice caps or whatever on Mars where there's undersurface water, water ice.
Yeah.
But there's exactly. It's starting to look like Mars lost its atmosphere at such a slow rate that a lot of the water actually froze before the atmosphere was completely blown away. And as such, there could be shitloads there. I'm not starting.
I think the astronauts are going to have to go to Mars. They're going to have to wear rubber boots when they land because it's just going to be soggy.
Yeah. Right. But I'm not suggesting anything like, oh, there's so much water on Mars, we should terraform it, because I think that's a stupid idea.
I think it's a brilliant idea. Shut up.
No, it's not. It's stupid. Mars doesn't have a magnetic field. And as such, any terraforming you do on Mars is just going to be destroyed by the solar wind pummeling the atmosphere. I just don't see the point.
Yeah, we'll make one. We'll make a magnetic field.
Oh, yeah. Humanity, we're smart enough. We'll just restart the core of a planet. Yeah, that won't backfire on us at all.
It was in a movie. I've seen it. It can be done.
No, we need to start that ancient reactor they found on Mars, right? Remember that? It was in a documentary I saw.
Yeah, that would be handy. You got to have 4 fingers to do it. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
No. Well, I could glue
Just speak to Kawato. He'll tell you all about it.
That's his name. Yeah.
I got there eventually.
Reactor, free Mars.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Elon Musk's got all those t-shirts that says "Occupy Mars."
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Free Mars. Occupy Mars.
I know, right?
Fuck Mars.
But that's the whole thing. He Occupy Mars because, Occupy Wall Street. Remember that whole thing that happened for a bit there, right? That's not the outlook that it's supposed to be. But that's the way Elon looks at it. Elon looks at Mars not as some explore our universe type thing. He's like, what can I find that will make me money?
Well, I think I'm on his side on that one because it is going to be money that's going to get us out to the stars and all that kind of stuff. It's not this exploration that will go alongside.
You're right. Because unless we had some unified world and replicators and Star Trek bullshit, money is the only thing that drives this stuff, right? Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like the universe. The universe is there. It seems at this moment in time to be pretty unpopulated. There's not a lot going on out there. There might be life out there. They just sent that thing out to Europa. That mission. That's going to be interesting to look for life out there.
Yeah,
there may be life, but it will be like a fucking microbe or something like that. There won't be like fishes swimming underneath the surface of the ice. But the whole fucking universe is out in there in front of us. Yeah. It's just like it's ours for the taking, basically. It's not just like sit and preserve it.
True, but you wouldn't want to get into a point where you actually like screw a planet up and it started affecting the orbits of other planets. And you gotta be a bit careful. It can't be so about profit that you don't actually give a rat's ass. Imagine like in some sci-fi, imagine in 20 years if somebody blew a chunk off of the moon. And it changes the dynamic of the ocean and the tides and everything. That's huge,
Yeah.
Well, when
I wasn't suggesting that, but
I personally think that life is going to be found virtually everywhere we find liquid water and some sort of energy source, whether it be chemical or otherwise. Bottom of our oceans, you've got those.
I was actually going to say that. Yeah, the vents, the places that life should not exist, and it does.
And chemically,
the Antarctic.
Yeah, it's everywhere. And chemically, water is the perfect solvent to help build the building blocks of life to get proteins, amino acids, blah, blah, and whatnot. I just can't see that it doesn't happen literally everywhere where you get liquid water. It may not have people sitting around drinking beer, but it's going to have, cyanobacteria or something, right? Something similar for sure.
To be fair, I have replaced all the water in my body with alcohol. So yes. I am now an alcohol carbon based being as opposed to water and carbon.
Yeah, I've been on the Keith Richards diet for about 35 years. So, 40.
I don't think you smoke enough.
42. Yeah, it's been a long one. We got a cool video here, and that snuck into the feed. This is for God's sakes, don't do that. Okay, hold on. This is a little auto crash that happened. Check this out. Watch this. Watch this guy coming. Boom! He takes the entire front end off that guy's car, and he gets out and loses his mind. He's lucky to be alive, parking that close to the race. He's mad as if something was done wrong to him. As far as I'm concerned, he's the one that's at fault.
Yeah, look at that line of cars there.
Yeah,
didn't he just like think, oh, I'll just stay back with this. Yeah, this line of cars back here. No, I'll just go and park somewhere else.
Yeah,
have a little fucking picnic with the family.
Yeah, and he flips his lid as if he's been done wrong. What a moron!
I mean, he must have been creeping out there because the car that hit him. I can't believe the car that crashed into it would just just keep going in a straight line and thinking, oh, there's a car in front of me. I'll just keep going.
Yeah, exactly.
He must have pulled out at that last moment.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. There's a miscommunication there, but that's what happens when you get people in an unstructured environment playing with high-speed automobiles. And they're totally lucky that there wasn't a life lost on that. If that car had been like another foot out in front, that car going at high speed would have hit an immovable object almost, and it would have been awful. Yeah. I just can't understand how something like that can even happen. You can't have some get together with high-speed cars and act like idiots and not pay attention to things like that. It's not fun when shit happens, Yeah,
it's the old expression, fuck around and find out, isn't it?
Yeah,
That ancient Roman expression. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck us around us and find us out us.
But yeah, dangerous stuff indeed. For those of you that know about engines and stuff, you know how on its basic level, we have 2-stroke engines, 4-stroke engines, diesel engines, and the rotary.
I thought you were talking about engines.
No.
As in Comanche.
No. Canadian flag. Don't do that. Right? But Porsche has just released a 6-stroke engine where there's a second combustion stroke and exhaust stroke. It's a crazy design, but it totally gets them to the next 10 years of emissions regulations, and they can still run a non-turbo, naturally aspirated engine at high horsepower. It's fucking unbelievable engineering. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that people do that. It's like, what's the other department doing? Oh, we're working on electric cars and electric engines. And what are you doing? Petrol engines. Obviously.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's really cool stuff. And it's It's the kind of engineering that we need to save the petrol gasoline engine sports cars as regular gasoline petrol engine cars start to die off for hybrids and so on and so forth, right? Because the idea, electric cars don't make good sports cars because they're too freaking heavy. It doesn't matter how cool and fast your Tesla Model Plaid is 0 to 60. Once you start throwing it around corners and whatnot, like a sports car, there's no dressing of the suspension can hide the fact that it's like as heavy as a dump truck, and it's just this lumbering mass, right? That's why we call it the Miata, but the rest of the world calls it the Mazda MX-5. Because of the name Miata, in North America, it's kind of like a hairdresser's car. But in the rest of the world, it's a cool little open top sports car. It doesn't even have 200 horsepower. It doesn't need it. It's simply light and fun and brilliant to drive. Right.
My son hates referring to his Mazda MX-5 as a hairdresser's car.
Oh, I bet.
And especially if you see him, he's got long hair and a big bushy beard. He's the last person who goes to see a hairdresser.
Exactly. Yeah. But that's what I mean. These electric things, they're just not light. And the only way to get an electric vehicle that can be light and fun is for it to have like hydrogen fuel cell or something, right? These big battery vehicles are never going to replace sports cars. So we need to save the sports car. And Porsche's doing it with this unbelievable new technology, this 6-stroke engine. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I won't keep going on about it because if you're not into engineering and stuff, I'm probably boring the hell out of you, but it's awesome.
Well, I mean, there is a problem with that is, the fact is that the oil is going to run out. So what we do need to do hang on, wait a minute. I've got a solution for this, because on the side of as we look to the future of petrol chemical engines, what we need to do, we do need a program where we can clone and breed dinosaurs and then have them freshly squozen into the ground.
No, but hold on.
New fuel.
We've got alternative fuel research going on. Even the Formula One group is behind it. And once you get people like the engineers in Formula One and their partners and stuff behind a thing, it starts to really happen. And alternative fuels, the kind of things that can keep classic cars and sports cars on the road without being all dinosaur fueled nasty and whatnot, is not actually a problem. It might not be the cheapest way to drive a car, so you'll be better off to go with the new Revolution. But for somebody that wants to keep like an older Porsche on the road or something, it won't be a problem. And you don't have to be
how much is a bottle of vodka?
Well, what's his name? Harry Metcalf, Harry's Garage on YouTube. If you don't know him and you're a car person, check him out. He used to be the owner and editor-in-chief of Evo magazine, and he's been in the car scene all his life. And he did like a full year of alternative fuels in his car and in some of his cars. And he was like he's got a Lamborghini Countach, a Ferrari Testarossa, blah, blah, and they were getting damn near the same mileage and equivalent horsepower. Like, they felt great. The fuel at this point was like 3 times the price of petrol, but the company gave him a bunch of drums of it just so he could report on using it. And as we get more manufacturing and economies of scale into it, it'll get to the point where, it'll be possible to keep those cool old cars going without being an environmental asshole, right?
What were the fuels? Or like biofuels or like ethanol, alcohol-based?
Oh, he did some big video on how it's made and stuff, and I didn't watch that. I don't care. I don't give a shit where the fuel comes from. I just want to be able to drive a combustion engine car, right? Because I like that better.
Steam power then.
No, because then you get like 600 RPM. I want like 9,000. But here, I got a shout out to do. Demetrius Siganovas. sent in a $13 direct donation for the beer fund. Slava Ukraine and Slava Roshanas. I think I said that decently. I'm sure Demetrius will tell us in the chat in a minute. Did my best, but thanks, Demetrius. All right. Cool. Beer fund is a good one right now. I had the worst month financially, and I'm like 7 days away from the clock resetting to a new financial month, and I can't wait. Oh God!
It was funny. It was last night. I was talking to him after the 42 show, and he was like crying buckets at me.
Easy now.
The beer. But you had this amazing revelation, didn't you? About you had like credit.
Yeah.
Free beer at the store, and it's like you didn't even know about it.
Yeah, I'd forgotten, and I was like, well, I'm not going to get beer for the Thursday show because, money's so tight. I just got to make sure I get through until the, revolve date. And I was setting up for the show, and I got this email from the account from my local little beer store, brew pub, whatever. And it was like, hey, don't forget, you got enough points in your account that you can try out our beers. And I was like, well, all right then. So that worked out pretty good. No.
Yeah. And there's him complaining about who he doesn't care where the fuel comes from, but when it's the beer, that's a different discussion.
Well, no, I'd never tried their beer, so again, I didn't care where it came from. But it was a good lager. It was really nice. I'm more of a Pilsner person myself, but it was good. They have a couple of those really thick, dark beers, and I was like, no, that's not what I do.
Yeah. Sounds a bit too British for you.
Yeah, I don't like the beer to be a meal. I want it to be a drink. Well,
what is this, gravy? I don't have it with mashed potatoes.
Yeah. It's like a chicken pot pie that went through a blender and put in a bottle.
Like, oh, you use this to make poutine. What are you talking about?
Oh, speaking of poutine, that's a thing in Canada, right? You get proper fries, cheese curds. They smother it in gravy. The cheese curds melt. It's awesome. But if you ever come to Canada and go to like one of our fast food restaurants or something and order poutine, you're not going to get proper poutine. It's not going to be cheese curds. It's going to be mozzarella. You've got to get the real thing. Otherwise, you're just going to go, well, it's just a sloppy mess.
Hang on, isn't mozzarella basically a cheese curd? Isn't that what it is?
No, it has to be done as curds proper. Otherwise, it doesn't melt through proper, and it's wrong texture and the whole bit. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, what we are talking about here is cheesy chips and gravy. If you wanted to translate the dish over the ocean to the UK, it's cheesy chips and gravy with some peas in it.
Okay, but if you don't use the right cheese, it's just cheesy chips and gravy. It doesn't deserve its own name. So
yeah. It's still damn good though. I don't care. But I've never had poutine. What do I know? It might be a revelation waiting to happen, but
there's a thing from our East Coast, the Maritimes area specifically, that you would actually flip out and love. I'm sure of it, and it is the ever amazing on drinking nights Donair. Oh wow!
What?
The Donair. The Donair is this weird thing.
We have doner kebabs.
Well, no, it's like a flatbread, a little bit puffy, but not much. And they have this big rotisserie of this mystery meat stuff just rotating. And the guy puts his knife on it, and it curls off this big thing of meat that they put into the folded bread.
Yeah.
And then they put some.
We call we have that over here. We call it a doner. It's a doner kebab. You make it sound
Donair.
really like posh.
It's not a doner. It's a donair.
No, that's what we call it over here.
That's how you pronounce it, but it's not. It's donair.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is you make it sound like really posh.
No, it's not. It's bar food. It's bar food, but it's a specialty of the maritime section of Canada. You don't find them much in the West Coast.
Turkish. It's Turkish and Greek and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. You can go to any town in the UK.
But it's not named after. Yeah, but it's not named after one of Santa's reindeers. It's not Donner. It's Donair.
If I went into a doner kebab shop and that's for a donair, I'd get punched on the nose. So you get out of here, you big.
How do you spell it?
Donner.
Really? Why did you ruin the spelling? It's Donair.
I didn't choose the spelling.
It's your fault. It's your fault. It's not a Donner.
Do you know how many
Can
kebab
I have
shops
2 Donners and 1 Blitzen, please? This isn't.
Do you know how many kebab shops I've now got to ring up in the UK? Said, look, Dick Dawson says you're spelling it wrong and you're saying it wrong. Yes, and you've got to change it immediately.
Yes, start giving me the numbers. I'll help so we can get through this list faster. It's not a Donner.
Or do you know what else they call it, which confused me? It's a lamb shawarma. That's shawarma.
Like Iron Man in the Avengers?
Yeah. It's also shawarma. It's the same fucking thing. and it was like that used to confuse me. You go to a place, you see the thing, like you say, it's on the grill, the big upright unknown meat, which is basically lamb. And they're spinning it, putting it in a
was like salad. I figured it was marinated goat cock or something, right?
bit of that just for flavour and stiffness. But you'd see that. You go, oh, can I have a doner? And you go, oh no, they don't have doner or donairs. They don't have that. We've got shawarma. What? No, it's the same. It's a doner, but no, you call it a shawarma. It's the same like as egg.
we've got here. Let me sing you the song from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer here, but I'm gonna do it UK style. Okay. We've got pizza and hot dogs and chips and fries, Donners
and Blitzkrieg.
And curry to melt your eyes.
That's just so funny that you basically got the same as us, but it's got just that different name. But
no, the proper name. The proper name.
No, it's the wrong name. It's a Canadian name. It's always going to be wrong.
You guys can't even pronounce the places that you live in,
Excuse me, I think we're the ones who can pronounce them.
No, you can't. Tolkien could pronounce them, but you can't. Because let's see here. Yorkshire. Incorrect. Yorkshire. There we go.
Oh, it's Yorkshire.
It's not Yorkshire. Just look at the spelling and tell me, Mr. King of the English language, how it's supposed to be pronounced.
The funny thing is you drop an American into central London and no way can they find Leicestershire Square.
I can only imagine.
Leicester Square.
Yeah. I can only imagine that the pronunciation changed because you guys were like, that fucking Tolkien guy got a bit popular, so let's just slang it out, Yorkshire. Yeah, that's good, because Yorkshire, that's spelled S-U-R-E, sure, right?
Yeah.
Shire is pronounced or spelt the way that the fucking location is. It's funny too because you guys are very.
I'm never taking you to a round trip round Wales because you're just going to get into fucking fights.
Can you imagine?
That's not how you pronounce it.
But it's funny too because you guys have like slang ways of saying things the way we do for things over here and stuff, right? So
yeah.
If you watch Formula One auto racing or any coverage of auto racing at all in the UK, and you watch like Sky coverage or BBC coverage from back in the day or whatever, you'll notice that the racetrack pronunciations get funny too. Like Silverstone is Silverstone.
Silverstone, yeah.
Yeah, you guys can't even bother pronouncing the word stone. It just kind of falls off like Silverstone. It's like you're having a heart attack halfway through the word, you know.
Okay.
It's funny as hell.
But there are words, and we can say them however much we fucking like. So fuck you.
Yeah. Well, you could do the other side of the coin where you have the car company Jaguar, and Americans say, I just bought myself a new Jaguar. There's no W in the word, dude. There just isn't. You know, I can barely speak the goddamn language and read the language, and I'm the one critiquing this. You see what's going on here, people? You know?
Well, exactly the same thing happens in America as well. You know, especially when you got names that are based on like native tongue. But you know, like Cheyenne and Arkansas.
That one fucks my shit up. How is it Arkansas when it's just Arkansas? I don't get that.
Yeah. Or you speak to someone in Castle. Oh no! Kansas. Oh, sorry. I thought if it's
exactly.
If it's Arkansas, maybe it's got to be Castle, isn't it? You live in Castle.
Yeah, you know that wicked song "Carry On, Wayward Son" by the band Carsaw, right? You know that, right? Humans are funny.
This is a worldwide problem. We can't.
Oh, yeah. I started by picking on Brits, but it's not. It's everyone, right? And it's hilarious. Like, who was the genius that thought it was a great idea to have one word have 4 different spellings and 7 different meanings in the English language? That's fucking brilliant, you know? And we have this all over the place. It doesn't help, you know?
Am I right in thinking some historical person might be able to fix me on this? But if you go back into like medieval writings, an F was written with 2 S's. So yeah, it's like you read the old medieval speak, and it's got 2 S's. No, you have to replace that with an F.
Yeah.
What? Who invented the F then?
Does that mean
the F suddenly say, oh, yeah.
Does that mean I'm supposed to say, ooh, nice F?
It's very confusing when you say the weapon SS. Hang on, weapon SS? That's the weapon or the weapon. Hang on. No, it should be the waffle. The waffle. Yeah, no.
Just one wafer, sir. It's wafer thin. Oh, so
I think we dug ourselves a deep hole here.
Yeah.
What we need is a black guy with a good digger to dig us out.
Oh God, that I came
Yo,
up.
Man.
I came up with 3 jokes.
You're my main digger.
I came up with 3 jokes all about clams and stuff that weren't going anywhere good.
We should start a new channel just called the Accidental Racist.
Here, I'm erasing this.
Don't even worry about it.
What do we got here? Yeah. So yeah, there's the Donair, and then there's other people's stupid ways of saying it. So now that we've covered that, we can move on.
I can't wait to take you to an English pub, get you pissed up, then to go to a Donair kebab shop.
It'd be funny.
There's going to be a fight in season this week.
It'd be funny to take me to an old school British pub because I know lots of British slang and how to speak and stuff, but I don't I have a Canadian accent, and people would just be like, what the fuck is going on with this guy? This is weird. He's freaking me out.
I was having a laugh about this. I even think we've had this conversation already, but I was having a laugh about this the other day. The fact that you watch so much UK TV that you understand British slang, and you're the first person I didn't have to teach how to say wanker, because you try to get anyone else to or the twat, a twat.
I even know how to do bloody in a sentence properly and not sound like a moron, right? It's funny. Yeah. But I've ingested so much UK humor content over the years, right? It started with my father. I
think if you came to the UK and just start talking to people and using British slang, I don't think they'll see you as Canadian. They'll just see you that he's from the south or something, or he's from the north, or whatever.
Yeah,
he's from the next village along.
Yeah. He's got a bit of a fairy accent, but he's one of us. It'd be funny. If I was gonna leave Canada,
he's riding a horse on a Monty with a Monty outfit on. But
the UK would be one of the few places I would consider if I was going to leave Canada as for somewhere to live.
Yeah, we wouldn't have you.
The southern US, there's lots of places where there's like really no winter and stuff, and that's pretty tempting. But your healthcare and politics and everything, I'm not playing, man. No way. If I had a good retirement fund together, there's some spots in Mexico that are tempting because you would live well, even translating Canadian pesos to Mexican pesos, right? But
a lot of people rave about Mexico. Yeah, it's also a little bit dangerous as well.
Yeah, well, in some spots,
areas,
But then again, what's dangerous to some isn't quite so dangerous to me, to be honest. But the UK is where I would feel totally at home because I love auto racing. I like gravy soaked foods and all that kind of stuff. And it would just, I'm not into like really weird, obscure. I just like, I'd work out good there.
But the funny thing is that we do have, I wouldn't use the word immigrants in the same way, but we do have a lot of people who come to the UK from all around the world, and they do actually feel at home here.
Yeah,
we have Australians who are basically repatriating the fucking criminals back to the country again.
We have lots of Australians here, but we need somebody to pick the fruit from the trees. So
Well, for in our case, they basically work in the pubs.
Oh, they love that over here too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the first place Australians seem to go where they're like traveling. Is like, I'll get a job at a pub.
You can always tell if you got an Australian bartender because there'll be a backpack just sitting behind the bar at the edge, right? That's how you can tell.
The skate plan is ready.
I know. In Canada. The Scottish people, the Scots, there's a heavy Scottish thing in the Maritimes. That's where my mother was from. Those motherfuckers can drink.
Yes.
They literally like they're those guys that can sit down and have like 12, 13 glasses of scotch, couple of cigars, blah, blah. And they say, okay, I got to get up and go to the bathroom. And you nudge your buddy and you're like, yeah, watch this. And he just simply gets up and goes to the damn bathroom. And you're like, wow, that's impressive.
There was a great bit I saw Billy Connolly doing some of his old stand up recently, and he was talking about working in the shipyards in Glasgow back in his early days, and it was like lunchtime, off to the pub. It's like 6 pints of beer, a pint of heavy, six pints of heavy, and the walking back, and then it's just like straight inside without breaking a stride, walking back from the pub and just go just carry on, back to work.
Yeah,
building the ships.
Hardcores. You ever see that shit where they do all that caber tossing and whatnot? And Lord Thunder and Jesus, those boys are tough to the core, man. You don't do that kind of shit just because you're bored,
Yeah. And interestingly enough, they do it while wearing kilts. And they're not the kind of people you go, oh, you're wearing a skirt, you big whoopsie.
Exactly.
Yeah, they'll show you what tabor tossing is. They'll just grab you by the ankles and just fling you.
Yeah, the guy can lift a telephone pole because he feels like it, and you're going to insult the way he looks. That's smart. Good. Yeah. I mean, I've been in tough situations, and I can take care of myself and defend myself, but I'm not stupid. You don't do somebody that can just pick one of those damn things up. If they hit you with one punch, your face has to be reconstructed. That's stupid. We got a cool shout out here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got a cool shout out here. Demetrius Ziganovas, $10 direct donation in. Huge thanks, Demetrius. Thanks. Both gymnastics and online gamers have short careers because you're already too slow at 25. Do gamers be considered as serious sportsmen? Well, first off, thanks, Demetrius. Great one. In so much as I watch sports, gamers be considered real sportsmen? I only pay attention to auto racing these days. I used to watch hockey, football, American football, basketball, NBA, right? But in the modern day and age, there has been a couple of sim racing drivers who have actually transitioned to real auto racing and made like an actual go of it. So at this point, I don't think that PlayStation soccer or football is going to teach you much except for the strategy of the game. You got to be tough enough to play it and all. But for auto racing, it actually translated.
Yeah, but you can play a simulation game on the PlayStation or whatever and be £350. There's no way you're going to get yourself into a Formula One racing.
That's right. And for auto racing, when it comes to, well, not even Formula One, but like junior Formula.
And there's a lot of stamina and physical fitness.
It's actually way more than you would ever think. Like a Formula One driver will drop 3.5 to 4 kilograms of body weight in a 2-hour race due to dehydration and so on and so forth, right?
And shitting himself.
Yeah. Think about that. 3.5 kilos of weight. That's what? How many pounds? Or somebody do the conversion for me there. But it's significant. Right? And the other thing is the G forces, the lateral G in the corners. When you're pulling like 4G in an aerodynamic race car around a corner, if you do that for like 40 laps consecutive and you're not in supreme physical condition, your head will feel like it's falling off your body. You won't even be able to keep your head straight. You'll just be like this.
Well, your brain will be swishing from one side of the helmet to the other.
Oh, yeah.
As you go around the corners.
Yeah. And that's the thing. If sim racing and auto racing can teach you, control and stuff, because if you run real simulation software with a good rig and whatnot, I mean, it's really, really good. But it does nothing to prepare you for the physical demands of truly racing a car at speed. Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Jensen Button. Sorry,
Yeah.
just one sec. Jensen Button, 2009 Formula One world champion, famously used to do marathons just because he had an off week and he would go and enter a marathon and run it. You know, that's how physically fit you got to be to race a car at the utmost level. Not maybe NASCAR because it's not quite the same, but IndyCar definitely is, you know. NASCAR has no downforce. So the lateral G is different because they use banking to control the car. They don't have downforce. It's different, right?
I've never run a marathon, but I've eaten a few.
Yeah. I remember when I was like 9 years old, a friend of mine's mother was actually a marathon runner. And you could tell because in summer when they would like come to the beach with us and stuff, she had the figure of like a 21-year-old. Oh my God. Well, and every morning
Stacey's mom has got it going on.
Yeah. And every morning when the bus would be getting ready to pick us up for school, she would be coming back from her run, which was like 5 miles or something every morning. She had a regular career as well. She was just the most motivated person I'd ever met at that time in my life, you know? Oh, yeah. Yeah, she was fucking crazy. Holy, you know? So what time do we got here? Oh, we're only an hour and 3 in. We're good. All right. I have the strangest week going on where I haven't had my son because somebody on the other side of the family is about to have a baby or something, and he's off with family doing all that crap. He loves little kids. He's such a gentle guy. It's really cool. But I've had...
He loves them so much, he'll eat a fresh one.
Yeah, with mayo. But I had the whole hailstorm and everything that screwed me up for Wednesday when I was going to do a thing with Greg Terry and Viper on Blonde Bombshellers private little thing, and then today we had. I woke up.
Secret. You were supposed to talk about it.
What?
You'll get told of again because that was secret.
Oh yeah. Well, if you're not in it, you don't know it. It's right, you know. And then today they cut my water off all morning. Oh my God, it's been a hell week. You know, they're supposed to give you 24 hours notice when they're going to like cut off your services for, you know, construction purposes or whatever. Yeah. Last night, I went to the beer store at like 8 p.m., 8:30 p.m., whatever it was, to get a pack of cigarettes. And there was no notice on my door. But when I woke up this morning at like 10 after 8, because my son's not home, I slept in a bit, my water was already turned off and there was a note on my door. You sons of bitches. The whole little townhouse complex I lived in, everybody lost their fucking minds. Oh, there must have been so many complaints.
It's going back to Total Recall again. I bet there'll be like one day you wake up and they've turned off the air because Cohagen is an asshole.
Yeah, it turns out I've been living in a dome all my life, a holodeck. Yeah. Yeah. I'm actually the reincarnation of Data's buddy, Professor Moriarty. I don't even exist. I'm just a conscious holographic projection. You know, if that was the truth, I wouldn't have to worry about shaving. That would be cool. Evolution is...
You just have you'd have to hold a holographic razor.
Yeah,
because the simulation's so accurate. You'll still shave. Yeah, you still have to shave.
You know, but speaking of shaving, evolution's running a little too fucking slow for me, because the idea of like, you know, extra, like, you know, you get into your 60s or whatever and you start getting that thing where you get this weird hair growing out of your ear or something. Nobody wants that, you know. Like evolution is just not perfect. That's for sure.
I thought you were going to say your evolution is too slow because you want an extra thumb.
No, I don't need it. I don't need an extra thumb. I just need, like slower growth so that I can only, just take out the trimmer and do my thing maybe once a month, not every couple of days or so.
I mean, I don't want to lecture you, but you do realize how evolution works. It doesn't happen because you decide I don't want a thing to happen. And you stop doing that thing.
It should. I should be in control of this, right?
Right. Okay. Let's get Mr. Darwin on the phone right now. If we don't like your concept of evolution, we want a better version where I can evolve while I'm sitting in my fucking chair. You bastard!
I did this last week, and he said something about making an appointment with a secretary. I was pissed. The fuck. God damn
Barbara, she's rubbish.
So
the amount of hours I spent trying to get through to Darwin, and just like Barbara is just like ill.
Yeah, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I knew a Barbara once. It was a baby carriage full of alcohol that we pushed through a forest.
Yeah, I remember you talking about
that. Yeah. What better place to put a stash of alcohol when walking through a forest than a baby stroller, right?
Yeah. The question is, whatever happened to the baby that was in it?
No idea.
No idea.
No, we found it.
We got a stroller. Did it start with a baby in it? I can't remember.
Yeah. Was
there a baby in this? I don't know.
I feel like John Cleese talking to Eric Idle right now, but I have no recollection.
Oh no! If you were John Cleese talking to Eric Idle, we'd be having a fucking argument. Them two have been at it.
Oh man,
on social media.
Yeah,
they fucking hate each other.
Yeah, it's funny, eh? I think it's hilarious.
I only came in for an argument.
Yeah. I mean, they're literally living out the stories they told in their movies now in real life, right? My son Felix caught on, and he's a massive Monty Python fan, and he read a tweet or a post or whatever it was where John Cleese was being sort of a prick to Eric Idle, where my son has a picture of Eric Idle in a frame on his bedside table, right? So he was not impressed. He was not impressed. It's so funny,
It's like they've been dragging the other ones in as well,
Yeah. Gilliam.
I can't remember which one it was, but there's someone who was talking about Michael Palin.
Oh,
because they always talk about Michael Palin as like the really nice guy, and they were saying, no, he's fucking not. he's not.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Michael Palin's going, why are you dragging me into this?
Yeah. I left you guys years ago.
He's having a go at the birds now.
He's having a go at the Palins. Yeah, they're funny, It's funny how that happens with bands and stuff, Like Robert Plant and Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin had a hell of a time trying to get along for years,
Oh, yeah. Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, yeah. That's the best story. Everybody's fucking each other behind their backs and stuff in the middle of making one of the greatest records in rock and roll history. And then they all now know that they've been fucking each other and relationships are breaking up and they're about to go on tour to support the album. And they did. It's unbelievable. You know, that song, you know, by Fleetwood Mac, "You Can Go Your Own Way." That's literally dude telling his girl or his wife or whatever to go blow goats.
Yeah. It might just call it, "You can fuck off now."
Totally.
Fuck off now.
Totally, man. Some of those stories are hilarious. And poor Mick Fleetwood, the drummer, is just in the midst of all of it, trying to hold it together while he's just a party animal. Like Fleetwood Mac were properly out of control back in the day, too, right?
There was a funny thing I saw the other day about when the Bond films went to like Laserdisc. They were doing like documentary, like directory commentary and stuff like that. So this was very, very early in, we hadn't got the DVDs and stuff like that. And there was a whole bunch of these that basically the Eon Productions behind the Bond films, this like had to just get rid of them, so take them off the shelves, because they were full of directed commentaries about people talking shit about the actors in it, the writers in it, the directors in it, and they were just like it was just like a fucking flame war that was going on. Talking shit about Connery and Roger Moore.
Oh, that's funny. That's great for long-term fucking productivity of the brand. You know?
Yeah. So if you want to search for it on Google, on YouTube, there is actually a video that shows all the clips that have now tried to erase, but now they're on YouTube now for everybody.
Oh, we've got to do a watch party for that. You know, we should do that on like the Discord. You know,
it's funny. It's funny.
Oh, we've got to do that. What do you guys think in the chat? Should we do a watch party watching that in our private Discord where we can just play commercial shit because everybody can go and fuck right off and just watch all these people slam all the other people in the that'd be fucking funny.
Well, this is the funny thing, when we talk about like bands like Fleetwood Mac or any other band you talk about, at one point in their career, they were like all infighting. Since then, over the years, they've done multiple interviews, and I'm sure you could probably string together a whole bunch of those interviews where they're talking shade and shit and throwing crap at each other, left, right, and center, because it just takes time for all this shit to come out.
Exactly,
like we're saying with the Pythons, They're all buddy back in the day, but now they're all old farts. They couldn't even be the same fucking room with each other without fighting.
Yeah. When I read the story of the Pythons and stuff, it sounds to me like they already didn't like each other very much by the time they made the first movie. Which, by the way, was partially funded by a couple of members of Pink Floyd, no less.
And the Beatles.
Oh, really? I didn't know that one. Awesome. Wow, you know what?
Yeah, George Harrison. George Harrison was a massive backer for Life of Brian.
Oh, okay, and, yeah. So was I think it was not.
Yeah, George Harrison is in the Holy Grail. He's actually in it.
Yeah.
He's got like a couple of lines in it.
But somebody from Pink Floyd also ponied up, but I think it was Gilmore, the guitar player, not what's his name, the egoed out bass player that left and everything.
Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah. Well, he was awesome, but he did. What's his name? Roger Waters. He did this thing after the band broke up. He was like, well, that band will be nothing without me. Meanwhile, they went on to have some amazing FM radio hit records, and Roger Waters only sold enough records to get by because he was selling to his direct fans these weird concept albums and stuff.
To be fair, I love Pros and Cons of Hitchhiking.
Oh,
that was an album that me and the missus when we were younger, kids, when we were kids, we're just like, play.
It's awesome.
Play there,
I agree.
put it on.
You
Fucking awesome. And Radio Chaos was not bad. It didn't quite hit the same,
but over here in North America, only somebody like me even knows what you're talking about. Most people never heard this shit at all, right?
Yeah. Well, the only reason I really liked the pros and cons of hitchhiking because of the cover, where you got like a naked girl with a backpack, something a lift. It's like, oh, this looks good.
Yeah, I gotta check this out. Very much. Yeah, it's kind of funny too, because Roger Waters got a little bit lost in his own head and ego and stuff to the point of insanity. And well, that's what happened to Sid Barrett and Pink Floyd.
That's what I was going to say as well. The comparison is kind of weird.
Yeah, there's this thing with Pink Floyd where if you think you're the big cheese and try to completely take over, which Waters did for a bit with like The Wall and whatnot, it doesn't end up well.
And by the way, which one is Pink?
Yeah. I actually love that part in the record. And by the way, which one's Pink?
Which one is Pink?
Yeah. And if we tell you the name of the game, boy. Yeah, it's good stuff.
We call it Riding the Gravy Train.
Good stuff indeed. Oh, man, if we played that, we'd get blocked.
Yeah.
Big time.
No, I haven't sat down and listened to that sort of stuff for a long time.
Oh, I put the main Pink Floyd records on monthly. Oh yeah, absolutely.
I used to listen to music all the fucking time. I don't know what's happened to my life that I don't have time for that. Where do I fit
Actually, you do. What's happened is you're probably doing something that I found myself doing about a year ago and started pulling away from is
cleaning.
No, but when you're cleaning and houseworking and stuff, do you put a YouTube video on in the background or do you put on music? Right? I found myself using YouTube videos to the point where I had no idea what the last 3 videos that I even watched were about. But if I would have had music on during the whole vacuuming and stuff, I would have been fine. Right? So I switched and much happier again. Much happier.
Actually, that's a good point because I'll throw this out to the chat and see what they think as far as YouTube is concerned. Because do other people find themselves going down a rabbit hole? It's almost like the fear of missing out. And you go to one YouTube video and you go to another one. You just keep going, and because if you don't watch it now, it's just going to get lost in time, like tears in rain, and it will disappear. So you just keep watching the next one, the next one, the next one, the next one, until it's like, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. I'll still be watching videos. I should go to bed. Oh, there's another one. There's another one. I'll just check this one out quickly.
Yeah. It's one of the reasons why I cherish my Plex server, because instead of mindlessly watching dumbass crap on YouTube, I put on sciencey shows like How the Universe Works, Space's Deepest Secrets and stuff to fall asleep to. And at least whatever I absorb as I'm falling asleep and stuff is worth absorbing. It's not just garbage, and I know in saying that, I'm kind of calling us garbage too or whatever, but there's a time and place for things, right? I wouldn't say that we're a show to fall asleep to. We're a show to enjoy time before you go to bed, right?
There might be some people just lying back, their eyes shut, just listening to us babbling on, because it just washes over them.
Hands up if you're getting a blowjob and watching the show. Hands up.
I said people were going to sleep, not having fucking blowjobs. If you're having blowjobs, why aren't you on the show? And I'll have the blowjob.
Yeah, no, that's OnlyFans. That's not YouTube.
I don't want a blowjob anyway. No thanks.
Yeah.
Too tired.
Yeah. When you get to a certain age, it's more like having a water pick. Yeah. So let's see here. What are we gonna do for the rest of the evening? We got about 20 or 30 minutes to go, but I have no.
Let's do the rest. We'll do the rest of the show in the medium of dance.
Oh dear God!
I can dance like Donald Trump. You see,
I can walk like an Egyptian. Yeah, I could break dance, but I would do it by spinning my camera upside down and go, look, I'm spinning on my head.
years back when we were doing streams on my channel, we just thought it's hilarious, to turn our webcams upside down, and so it would be like hanging. I've got my arms raised in the air, but you can't fucking see it. But you raise your arms up in the air. You do that. You do it now.
Okay.
Raise your arms up in the air.
All right.
So it'd be like that, but then you'd be inverted.
Yeah.
And you'd be like dangling on the stream. It's like.
I wonder
the joys of fucking simpletons.
I wonder if I can do this. Hold on here. Let me go to
yeah. Well, what you normally do is just like flip your camera upside down, but now you're in OBS, you can go in and transform it and turn it upside down. But
yeah, hold on. There, see? Right here.
Look.
Yeah, I'm standing on my fucking head here, people. Look at this. All right, there we go. Never thought of that gag. You know, an old gag we got to bring back was the bricking somebody up. That was funny. Yeah, the day I bricked up that one motherfucking whatever dude that was on,
Arwen.
Yeah, the angriest flat earther you have ever heard in your life. This guy Arwen, he's a flat Earth believer. We debunked him a few times on the old Shills shows, and he literally gets angry and yells and screams at his viewers for donations because he hasn't made enough money that day. And you can tell by the way he's behaving, it's for drugs and something, you know what I mean? It's really bad.
I did it. I got a great clip of Mikey Smith that's not out there. That when he gets fucking angry as well.
Yeah.
It's like, oh fuck,
yeah.
Get them all.
There's a classic moment of that Arwen guy when he's flipping out on his viewers, just losing his mind, telling them off, calling them cheap bastards and stuff. And he gets like a $50 donation in through PayPal, and instantly he stops and he's a totally happy person. And the switch was incredible to see. It was unbelievable.
Well, I'm not going to name him. He's not here. But there was a Glober that did the same thing. It's Mr. SH. Should I say? And he did the same thing. He bought all the gear, all the streaming. Didn't have enough fucking clue how to use it. He bought equipment for like black magic grading suites. What? He didn't know how the fucking hell he was doing.
Remember the telescope? Remember the telescope that was crowdfunded and he ended up selling it to that other dude?
And he would get angry too because no one was watching his streams. And then he'll get a donation and
a pity shout or something, right?
And why don't we do that? Why don't we do that? pity. You know, I'll tell you what. Next time you see my avatar, I'm going to be in rags. And we go,
Yeah.
I'll have a Dago bar boarded up behind me because it's been shut down.
Yeah. Annette in the chat was talking about we had the jail bars as well. Yeah, we could put people in jail. That was fucking good. We got to bring that back as well. That's a good call.
The funny thing about Arwin was that time he did that because he did his like early bird show, and it's through like a brick tunnel.
Yeah,
an archway.
He had an arch. Yeah, and so I just bricked him up.
No, hang on. I'm telling the full story because I said he looks like one of the characters in Thomas the Tank Engine when he gets angry and he's stuck in a tunnel. And they bricked him up. It was like George gets stuck in the tunnel, and then it's just like, oh, why don't we just like brick him up? Just like they did in Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah, and while we were live, I got a texture of bricks, and I sized it up proper so I could just layer in bricks. And as we were watching them and debunking them, I built more bricks into his arch until you could just see the white of his eyes, and then I bricked him in. It was fucking funny, man. Yeah, we got to bring that back, you know. Every now and then,
the wank engine.
Yeah, we what we could do is a retro rehash where we go back and make fun of one of the people we used to actually show people on the show. That could be pretty funny.
PJ knows Arwen well. He said Arwen would go nuts if people didn't say anything in his chat for a while.
Oh yeah,
yeah. In the side chat, and he'd come with nothing, expecting others to start a discussion. That was a funny thing. So like, I'm live. What do you want from me? Bring me something.
Yeah.
It's like, we got nothing. Most of us are just here to sit and wait for you to fucking.
Yeah, you're the host, asshole. You're supposed to fucking, you know.
It'd be like us going to here's the 42 show. Chat,
what do you want us to talk about? Yeah, exactly.
What's the news?
Yeah. And he thought somehow that was worth money and more money than he was making by a long shot. It was hilarious. You know?
I think PJ sent him some cash a couple of times. I think just through just like sheer pity.
Well, I think PJ sent the money direct to his psychoanalyst, but you know.
My God, flat earthers. Yeah. There was some bonkers nuts out there.
Oh, here, speaking of which, so you remember the day that we covered that guy? I was raped by a Bigfoot. Remember that? And
yes, I remember.
And we had people in the live chat who were angry because it was obviously bullshit, just somebody having a joke, right? It was really funny video. We'll show you guys one time. But B, we had other people in the live chat that were like, this isn't really true, is it? This has to be, you know, and they were unsure because they're such conspiracists that they couldn't pull themselves out of the Bigfoot conspiracy to see how dumb it was that this guy was claiming that Bigfoot grabbed him, dropped his pants, and gave him a fucking hum job, right? It was unbelievable, man. The chaos that came from covering that video was hilarious.
Yeah, we don't need the fucking video, Annette. Stop it. We're not playing it. But the funny thing was, I saw it being replayed in another channel.
This video.
No, I do.
I remember that. I remember the night you showed up and we were showing it on the Shills, and you were pissed.
This is terrible.
It was hilarious. You were such a whiny little prick.
Yeah, I know, because I just hated it. But the funny thing was, I've seen this replayed on another channel with one of the old Shills members turn up on it, obviously not seen it before, and just trying to debunk it. You seriously trying to debunk this? It's nothing to debunk. The guy it's a joke. It's a fake. and he was getting all really, really uptight and serious about it. And
wow,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah, no, I was just pissed off because I thought it was derivative and not very funny.
Yeah,
I got the point of it, but it's like when we were like 4 videos in, and it's like, no, I can't laugh at this anymore.
Yeah. No, I did it to just be a jerk off, to try to show people that this is about as truthful as the rest of the shit we debunk around here, But that was at that point where I was getting a little bit fed up with debunking things because it was just getting a bit old.
Oh yeah, well, the point was with the debunking, when you were having to go to this extreme to try to find something that's actually worth listening to.
Well, not just worth listening to, but entertaining enough where I can enjoy myself. Right?
Yeah,
because it was getting to the point where every time we'd bring up a video to debunk, these idiots would say the same stupid crap over and over again. It's like, how many times can I reiterate the same debunk to make it sound fresh? And it started to feel like a job instead of something fun to do. Right?
Yeah, because there's a few channels out there who've dedicated their existence to mimicking the old Shills shows. And
there's a few.
There's quite a few. And it basically it's considered like a point and laugh sort of thing, where you show the video, and you go, that's stupid, that's wrong, and blah, blah, blah. And and that's as far as it goes. It's like Simon. I'm not going to have a go at Simon Dan again, but I am.
I would.
But like Simon Dan's videos now, he used to go into a bit more detail about when he's debunking something.
Oh, in his early days, he was really good at it, but now he's just a commercial.
Yeah. Well, apart from the 5 minute of the ad,
it's like Joe Rogan without the tattoos.
But he'll play the video that he's going to debunk, and then at the end of it says, "Well, you're wrong. Thank you, and watch me on the next show." It's like,
yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I know flat earthers that can debunk better than that. Like, you're not helping anybody. You're not trying.
Yeah. And
doesn't matter.
Heather Wiley in the chat is kind of like Mythbusters. Well, true debunking would be like Mythbusters, but when you're debunking people that think the mud flood existed and flat earth and all this other dumbass crap, there's no point to even get to that, because flat earth debunking, okay, why did people used to put a crow's nest really tall up on the mast of the ship? Because you could see over the curvature of the horizon a bit further and see what's coming. Otherwise, why would you put somebody up there? So it's just that dumb, right?
It's because he was a bit smelly.
Yeah, exactly. That fuck needs a shower. Okay, you're going up there, but it's just dumb, right? And they would say that the reason we couldn't see over the horizon wasn't due to the fact that something is over the horizon, but it was perspective, and things just couldn't be resolved because they were too far away, so they would be gone. Well, why is it that I can see across Lake Ontario, but I can't see the bottom 15 floors of the building? It's just dumb, right?
I'm gonna ask PJ about this because see what he thinks. Because
don't do that. Don't do that.
I know he follows these kind of things, but there's this recent thing we talked about a couple of times about the the final experiment.
Oh, for fuck's sakes!
Where they're going to send like a flat earther and a glober to Antarctica to witness the 24-hour sun, because apparently on the flat Earth, it doesn't happen. It's impossible. So, and you've got like other channels out there, and they're raising thousands of dollars to go and do this meetup in the middle of the Antarctic. God, motherfucker, that money could be. Can you imagine the thousands they're spending on that? What we could do with one simple wish in one night.
I know.
You know what I mean? And it's like we can get kids, their bikes, their tricycles, their PlayStation. You want a MacBook? Yeah, fine. Here you go.
With that money, we could literally solve Christmas for 500 kids on one simple wish. It would be that amazing. Yeah. Speaking of which, I'm going to bring up a screen for you guys to see, because you remember the other day we did the one simple wish thing. Sorry, Dunk. Remember where you are. The family has already received the bicycle and are flipping out because it's already taken care of and Christmas is done for little Andrew. And they are happier than pigs in shit. So well done, everyone. Yeah.
See, that's the thing. That's so cool. Just that like one simple thing. And it wasn't a lot of money. It was some money, but it was meaningful just to some people. This money that people are blowing on this whole thing about the flat Earth, about going to the Antarctic. I mean, okay, you have the converse argument that people complain about. There are flat earthers who are grifting and they're making money.
And they are. That's the only reason they do it, right?
Yeah. Whatever. Let them do it. They're grifting. We see grifting all the fucking time. Just because we
do not endorse it
or enforce it in any way whatsoever. There is grifting all over the world at the minute. But to use this kind of like idea that it's all over the shape of the Earth, which we fucking know what the shape of the Earth.
I know.
That's it's besides. But they're spending thousands. People are spending thousands and thousands and thousands.
It's ridiculous the amount of money that's being done on this. Yeah.
Well, in one of my flat Earth videos I made a long time ago, I used the clip from Monty Python. It's like I just came here for an argument. I use that Monty Python clip, and it's like, oh, is it the £5 argument, or or is it the 5 minute or the full 20 minutes? But now you extend it to this, like this whole flat Earth argument. Oh, we're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to have a fucking argument. It's like, why is it even fucking happening?
It's not just to have an argument. It's to have an argument that doesn't need to be had. What's going on here is a whole whack of flat Earth debunk channels have pulled together some cash to try to get a flat earther to Antarctica to show them how the sun and whatnot really works and whatever. And it's a complete waste of money because you're only doing it for YouTube views and to embarrass somebody or a group of people, right? And
yeah, exactly.
They're already embarrassed anytime anybody looks at one of them when they say, have you ever heard of the flat Earth? Yeah, that's stupid. So I mean, there's no point in this at all, right?
And also it doesn't matter because the flat earthers are already working.
None of them will do it.
No. I think some have signed up. I'm not too sure which one. I think it was Journalism has signed up, but it doesn't matter because I think they've already been working on their answers and solutions to explain why they're saying what they're saying.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter because that was the one thing about Flat Earth. It was always, we'll just figure out a way to worm our way out of it.
That's the Flat Earth believers. And I know that's a weird thing to say, but the Flat Earth believers, they do not listen to the debunkers as if they have something to say. They listen to the debunkers so that they can figure out a way of getting out of their shit because their mind is already made up. This is not an educational scientific discussion. This is people that know talking to morons, right?
Well, there was an interesting meme that I saw someone post on Facebook, and it was kind of like don't worry, dear, just trust the science. And it was basically like it was having a go at science.
Yeah. So, as if we have blind faith because a scientist told me that I could eat cow's balls and never get cancer, right? It's just. They don't.
Well, the great thing about science is you can test it. That's the whole point.
That's the whole premise. Is peer review, right? Exactly. Yeah.
You don't have to believe the science. You can go out there and prove it wrong yourself.
I'll tell you.
Let me finish.
Okay.
Let me get my point across. Now, you may not be smart enough to go out there and prove the science or prove it wrong or whatever.
Yeah.
And at that point, you do have to trust the science because that's all you fucking got.
Right.
And you've got to accept that other people who are doing the science are doing the science.
But here's the thing. This is why you have a growing conspiracy-minded group. And I truly believe this. Every fucking year in the press, there'll be results from a new study say that a glass of alcohol a day is good for your heart. 6 months later, a new study says that's actually not true. Blah, blah, yada, yada.
It's good for your heart.
Right. But what's going on is this is a published study that has not been peer reviewed yet. And yet the media grabs onto it because it's a cool headline because we're in the day and age of the clickbait society. And as such, you get this thing going where the news is reporting science said, but science didn't say. Science just said one study said. That's not the way it works, right? The whole theory of relativity by Einstein was proposed, but then over time we had somebody go off and do a thing with imaging a star based on the eclipse and bending of light and so on and whatnot. And then once we had satellites, we were able to put atomic clocks up there and down here and see the time dilation for ourselves. And science isn't just and that's what I think's going on is the media is ruining the effect of it because you shouldn't be reporting it until it's been peer reviewed.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, where'd you go? What's happening? You gone black?
Me? Not on my side. There's a weird thing going on with our connection.
Yeah, I just lost the show share.
Yeah, I can still hear you. We're good. Yeah, we're good. But this is the thing. I think is the problem, right?
You also have the thing. You also have the thing where the news press will publish an article like scientists confirm that frog spawn tastes funny.
Yeah.
What? Why did we need to find that out?
I know that. Yeah. Very much,
and it becomes a massive article. It's like, who the scientists? Oh yeah, what is this like? The end of Indiana Jones, and we got our top men, top men. Who are these scientists?
Yeah.
It's like scientists. Oh, it's like Jeff in his shed has got some frog sperm, and he says it tastes funny. That's science.
Yeah,
No, it's
exactly.
not.
Yeah. That's an opinion,
Yeah.
But that's that whole thing. Like there's been so many times when I've seen a media article and they say, "Oh, a new study says blah blah," and I go and click it, and it's a new study that was brand new released. It's not peer reviewed. It's not, that doesn't. It's just, and it really. It's confusing to those that don't understand, right?
It's confusing to those who don't understand how the scientific community works.
Yeah, because things are not taken as fact for years and years and years, right?
Yeah.
Even then,
well, no, actually, no, it's not. You can't even use the word fact.
Well, exactly. That's what I was going to say. Is even then, science is not about proving fact, right? But yeah,
it's like having an argument with like 4 wives, and every single one of them want to be more right than the other one, and all of them want to be more right than you because you're a fucking not the wife.
Wow. Wow, you're verbally proving why I'm divorced. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah, but the thing is, all these scientists will fuck over each other's grandmothers to be more right than the next scientist.
Yeah,
it's this whole idea of the scientist community is just like sit back and accept other people's views and opinions. That's not how science works. They will kill each other. But they'll read each other's throats over it's really like basic. Well, I say basic, but it's like quantum physics or whatever. But they'll fucking fight to the death.
Well, take Guth and his theory of inflation, which is the theory that explains how the Big Bang produced a unified universe in pretty much every direction you look. I mean, it's not unified, it's close, right? The distribution of matter and energy is pretty unified. That was accepted doctrine. He proposed it in the late 70s, and by the 90s, it was absolute law of the land. But now you look at Stephen Hawking's institute that's in Waterloo, Canada, and a few places, and you've got people proposing theories that take inflation completely out of the mix. And we're always learning, we're always moving forward, but it's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, I mean, as far as if you talk about science and the cosmos, I mean, we're as a human species, we've hardly been around long. We've been here like 1 second in the clock of existence, and to even have like a relative understanding from not even leaving the fucking planet. Okay, we've been to the moon. And we send probes out, very short. As far as the universe is concerned, extremely short distances, and yet to still have the level of potential understanding of the universe that we got at this time is phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
to the point of insanity. The things we figured out in the last 15 years, 20 years or whatever is insane. It's amazing, but I would like to see a bit more of that brain power transferred to who we are now and what we're going through, because we got a lot of people like searching for planets and other solar systems and all of this brainiac crazy stuff. I mean, we could use your brains towards basic humanitarian needs in many areas of the planet,
Yeah. Could you at least just run for fucking president? When you have an complete, utter, mental dullard who is running for president of the one of the most powerful countries in the world.
Yeah.
And you have the guy who has a mental capacity of a frog.
Yeah. And think about this. Think about this. How many people that were born in places like the Congo and stuff, where they have no chance of ever even, being in my world versus like a rich person's world or something. But how many of those people were actually geniuses that never got a chance to flourish? What has the human race lost by not making sure that everybody has a chance? We could be way better off right now. Think about it. Think about it.
Now you can start pointing fingers at just the general education system. So I know. I'd say about the American education system. You can start pointing fingers at everybody's about education system. It's like, how many fucking geniuses are we just like throwing away?
Yeah.
All the time.
It scares me to think of it because we have such a huge chunk of the world's populace that are never going to have the chances that even I had. Right? Think about it, Holy fuck, man. We might be like having warp drive or whatever we would call. Actually, at this point, we'd probably call it warp drive just because why not? But, we might already be over at Alpha Centauri and stuff if we actually gave a rat's ass about everyone. It's a cool thought. I like it.
I wrote a story when I was a tiny little kid. And I think I stole the concept from Carl Sagan, but it was about the Greeks who invented the steam engine. Okay, it's not steam power as we know it today.
Yeah.
But they had the steam engine,
the little orbital thing with the two spouts, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the spinny thing, yeah.
But
it was an extension of that imagination that the Greeks at that time, had the Industrial Revolution, many years ago, and they were now like spacefaring citizens.
Yeah.
And it just think, just that little spark, like. It's taken civilization hundreds of years to get to that. But how many times did that spark almost happen?
Go back in time to what's called the Baghdad battery, which was clearly a lead acid, so to speak, sort of battery. And ancient alien people try to go blah, blah about it. But archaeologists and so on are pretty clear in the fact that it was just simply figured out that you could do gold plating with this scenario. And
and they didn't understand that the electrolysis was going on. It was just like, oh, we do this and this happens.
Right. But they were so close to actual electricity back then. It's not funny. And they just didn't have that one extra person or moment that made it happen. Humanity's had a few of those moments over time, It's pretty cool, before we go, a lot of historians, and I think it's paleontologists, I'm not really sure, but the study of life or whatever, ancient style.
Paleontologists are dinosaur people.
Okay, it's not them, but you know what I mean. They talk about farming being this huge step in humanity, and obviously it was because you could control your food source, right? But they talk about farming being this massive jump in, holy God, how did people figure this out? I'm not so sure that's true because imagine this. you've got a little group and you run around gathering and foraging and stuff, and you get some seeds and whatnot, and you're also following the game trails and doing your thing as like a tribe or a group, right? Now, you're going to stop in the same places yearly as you do your cycle. And every year you grab some of the grains and you grind them over a stone and do whatever you do. But there's going to be some that get dropped, and they're going to grow by that spot. I don't see farming as this major leap of consciousness. I actually think it was kind of obvious once people started repeating their steps and going to the same places. They were like, look, that shit grew there. Hey, wait a minute. I don't, you see what I mean? I don't think it's that great leap of logic that some people think it was. I think all it took was repetitive behavior. So you repeated the same place, showed up again, and went, there it is. Well, that's where I had wait a minute. And so you throw you know what I mean? I give humanity more credit. I think we were smart enough to figure that out pretty easy. I hope I'm right.
Yeah. To equate the entire, when you talk about humanity and we look at it today, the TikTok generation, all that, the MAGA and all that kind of stuff.
Oh God,
you can't. You're really weak for humanity.
Yeah.
Where are we gonna go?
Yeah. Yeah. What was that scene in an old 70s TV show or the movie or something? I weep for the future. Oh, was that the waiter in Ferris Bueller when they're doing the Sausage King of Chicago moment in the restaurant? I weep for the future. I think it is.
Yeah, no, I just think it's me every time I wake up in the morning.
Yeah, it's because you have children.
Oh, I don't have children. I have young adults.
Yeah. Oh,
parasites.
Yeah. Oh, young adults. I have that. So we're coming up on 2 hours here for the after show. So
yeah, you ready, lot? Come on.
Yeah.
You ready, Phil? Aren't you happy?
Yeah.
Are you not entertained?
Donate to the beer
gladiatorial
fund.
Ring.
Donate to the beer fund if you want a private hangout on the Discord afterwards. But I would have to go get more beer for that, and I really can't afford it.
Yeah, I know. I won't be in it. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, you're in the UK, so that's like stupid AM for you already, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 a.m. for you coming up. So here, we should leave our most gracious viewers that help us with super chats and shout outs and direct donations and gifted memberships and all kinds of things. We got to leave these folks with some good advice, right?
And just those who just hang with us,
That's true as well. Yeah. There's a lot of folks out there. I'm one of them who can't afford to be membering up and contributing to all the different channels and stuff, right? I can't do it. So,
I've seen the size of your member.
Yeah, small little guy. But we appreciate everybody who just simply, is here with us to do this, for sure. So good consumer advice today would be
you did one at the end of the 42 show that threw me. The gaffer tape. Duct tape.
Yeah. Hey, at least you can translate to Canadian gaffer tape to duct tape, right? But Never wrap your little fella in duct tape when you could use a condom. You can't be in that big a rush. You've got to do it properly.
It's the peeling it off that's the worst thing.
Yeah. And
condoms peel off easy. Duct tape and gaffer tape. No, that hurts.
And if your significant other is driving you crazy with talks of having a child, you should probably go to the store and buy your own condoms because you wouldn't want to find out that they were popped with a pin. Is that good advice? It's probably good advice for like 3% of our audience that are unsure because their wife is standing there over in the kitchen sharpening a knife right now.
I think she's going to throw it at you. I hope you're a good catcher.
So let's give a big shout out to the team here. We got Annette who runs the teams. We got PJ CNET who runs the newsroom on the teens. We got Shayna Caldwell. We got Chris Lundy, Super Chat, Matt. And, you know, you guys truly make it so that we can do this stuff. They know how important they are in the background. We've got like 37,000 Discord rooms that they organize and use so that we can have the information we need. So hats off to the mods.
Yeah. Come to our Discord and get lost.
Yeah.
And don't forget to put a comment because comments, apparently they're supposed to help the algorithm.
That's true.
And it makes it look like you actually fucking care. So if we said anything tonight that interested you or didn't interest you or annoyed you or made you happy, made you angry, made you just a little bit horny, I don't know. But just leave a comment, drop a comment in.
Yeah, it's a good call. And I am going to do a run upstairs, Riley break, and then I'm going to run around the corner and get a couple extra beers, and then I'm going to sit down and join the Discord hangout for a bit. I might do private Discord with the team for 20 minutes and then do the public one. I don't know. Well, we'll figure it out. But remember, most importantly, one of the key things that I can teach anybody in life is keep your stick on the ice.
And keep your dick in a vice.
Thanks for joining us, fellow babies. See you tomorrow.
Love you. Bye.
You're such a liar.